Yo, what up guys, Ross Scalps here, and in this video I'm reviewing Venom: The Last Dance. Alright, so the director of this movie is Kelly Marcel, and you probably haven't heard of her. Now obviously the notable actors in here: Tom Hardy, Juno Temple, Peggy Lou, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Alright, so before I review this movie, let me just list some quick facts. This movie had a $120 million budget, and it's projected to make about 150-ish opening weekend. The runtime's an hour and 50 minutes, so it's not too long, and the movie's rated PG-13. Now for the reviews, this movie is mixed. You have just the people who love this franchise, they're saying it's a good movie, right? But for the critics, Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, it's not looking good. On Rotten Tomatoes, you're looking at 36%, and on IMDb, you're looking at 6.2 out of 10. So overall, this movie is kind of similar to the other Venom movies. All right, so with all that being said, this movie is basically about Eddie and Venom being on the run from the military for the crimes they committed in San Francisco. Along with that, they're running from a being named Noel, who's imprisoned on another planet, and the only way he can get out is if he captures Eddie and Venom. This leads them on a journey trying to escape with their lives. So this movie is basically just the story of Eddie and Venom. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Venom. I think they're mid. Like, they're entertaining, but the stories aren't that good. Like, in my opinion, they're just not that good. But I knew that this movie was probably going to be similar to the other one. So if you like those movies, you're probably going to like this one. And if you didn't, I don't know if this one could have done much to change your mind about it. And after watching it, I got to say that that's true. Like, this movie, it was very similar to the first ones in terms of tone and whatnot. And if you like those, you'll like this. But if you didn't, you're just going to walk out of it saying it was mid. But let me get into some of the pros and the cons. And for the pros, like I said, this movie, the tone is very similar to the first two. There's not a lot of stakes, I feel like. It's lighthearted, tries to be funny, tries to be entertaining. So it's very similar to the first two movies. Along with that, Tom Hardy knows this role. Him and Venom, their chemistry, I know it's the same person, but their dynamic in here is very good for what they're going with in this series. And that was another thing. Like, that was good and consistent throughout the three movies. Along with that, the fight scenes, they were entertaining for the most part. You have symbiotes fighting and stuff, and also the transformation scenes from Venom, changing into other animals, whether it was a horse or a fish or a frog. Like, that was entertaining. There were some entertaining parts in this movie. Some actors in here that made you laugh or had some kind of entertainment. That was another thing I liked. And finally, the last thing I'll say is the villain in here, Noel, he is very intimidating. And you're just sitting there like, dang, if this dude gets out, how are they going to stop him? If this is how they're hyping him up, like, how are they going to stop him? So that was another good thing I liked. Just Nolan kind of setting him up for something in the future. But now let's get into some of the cons. And I think to start, I'll have to say the story was weak again. Look, these movies are entertaining, and I'm not trying to take that away. I know there's people who like these movies and people who don't. And it's just, you're really on just one side of the spectrum. If you like it or if you don't. Like, if it's mid or if it's entertaining and fun. There's really no in between. Like, the idea of them being on the run is good from the military and from Noel. That's good. But then they add so much, like, random filler, like him going gambling or him doing other things throughout the journey that he shouldn't be doing, when an alien that has been alive longer than the universe is coming after him. Like, there's a scene in here where Peggy Lou and Venom are dancing, and in the context of that scene, it's very critical that he shouldn't be doing that. But yet he does it, and even then, it was pointless. Not only that, there's a scene in here where he's in a van with Dr. Connors, and they're singing a song. And I'm sitting there going, yep, this is Venom 3. This is Venom. This right here. This is what Venom is. Just this goofy movie. Entertaining, but goofy. Along with that, some of these character decisions they make don't make sense at all. There's a creature coming to destroy the Earth and the universe, but this lady doesn't care in the name of science. She really thinks studying a symbiote is more important than saving the universe. That, along with another doctor making a decision that she would not have made. Like, come on. They wouldn't have done that. Just plot. Just helping out Venom. And finally, the ending, I'll just say, like, some of the stuff that happens, let's just say the first movie where symbiotes can bond with another human, but then they die, like, right away because they can't be compatible. In this one, I guess that ain't an issue. But yeah, and even with that, just the ending itself, I think was predictable. And they tried to make you feel emotional. But the problem is they don't really execute it that well, in my opinion. Now, to be fair, I have these complaints, but some of the people I went to watch a movie with, they still enjoyed it. They didn't find those complaints at all. Like I said, if you like the Venom movies, you will not care about anything I said. It's just going to be an entertaining movie. And it is entertaining. But if I'm going to nitpick and critique it just for some of the things that bugged me, those are some of the things that I have to say. So overall, if I had to rank this, I would probably give it a salty popcorn. I think it's enjoyable enough to go to the movies for, but you don't have to. Yeah, those are just my thoughts, guys. Comment below if you saw this and what your thoughts are. I'd be curious to know. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching another movie review, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.